8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
International superstar, Miss Buttabrocka.
You are now tuned in to buttabrocka on Transparency Talks Podcast. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Transparency Talks Podcast. I am your girl, buttabrocka. Listen, we have an amazing show for you today. He is a celebrity fashion stylist and chasing LA reality star. Can you please show some love for André Hammonds? Hey.
Hi, guys.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I had a chance today to look at some of the Chasing LA reality.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did. I was looking at season 2. I was like, oh, this thing is getting steamy. So let's take it back. Can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Andre. I am a fashion stylist, a wardrobe designer, a multimedia personality, and I'm out here in Los Angeles, California. And I'm just, chasing my dreams. I'm out here trying to make it happen.
I ain't mad at that. So are you from LA?
Originally, I'm from Tennessee.
Okay.
I grew up right outside of Memphis, Tennessee, in a small town. And then, excuse me, I went to college in Nashville, and I lived there for many years. I lived in Nashville for about 6 or 7 years. Before then, I moved here to Los Angeles. And I've been here ever since.
Okay. And did you move to Los Angeles for specifically being a stylist?
Originally, when I moved to LA, I was really just kind of in a point in my life where I wanted to do something new. I kind of felt like I had kind of outgrown my surroundings in Nashville. I felt like I had done what I needed to do, if you will, there. And I was actually getting into like modeling. I wanted to get into like modeling, and I wanted to be like a TV host. And that was kind of in the space that I was originally starting. And I moved to LA, and of course, it's very competitive, right? Like I couldn't get an agency to work with me, and I didn't know like all of the steps that I should be taking. And so I was kind of working a job in my real life, and I was working in retail, and I met a fashion stylist, and basically he was like in the store getting ready for a shoot, and I was just kind of like talking to him, and he invited me to assist him at the photo shoot that he was shopping for. And so I went and I assisted him, and that's kind of like what gave me, like kind of thoughts of what I could do based off of my experience of working on set as a model and working on different little projects in Nashville. And I was like, well, some of these experiences that I can take this and go and do something else with it. And that's how I got into fashion styling.
Well, like I said, I looked at some of the season 2 and I saw the styles. I mean, I was very impressed with your style.
Thank you.
Definitely. So are you modeling now? Because I see you look like you model as well. Are you sure?
I mean, I kind of do just more like influencer based stuff, like, in small campaigns for like, I've done some things, shot products and stuff for like businesses here in LA. And so, yeah, I'm really in the space of merging my professional, being a credentialed stylist and stuff like that with being a personality. Like for me, I see myself kind of like a hybrid of both. Working in fashion gives me the credential to, be able to speak about fashion and to occupy larger spaces and have that as a credential.
Got you. So who are some of the clients that you have styled?
I've worked with, I've worked with one of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Her name was Dorit Kemsley. I've worked with the heavyweight boxing champion of the world, Deontay Wilder. I've worked with Crime Mob's Diamond, who is a rapper. I just actually styled her for the Millennium Tour, which was really fun. You know, it's so funny because I've worked with so many people. Sometimes when people say, "Who have you worked with?" I almost can't remember. I'm like, "Who have I worked with?"
I understand that.
Yeah, and then I do a lot. I work a lot in film, in the film space. I work on Lifetime movies, Hallmark movies. Right now, I'm working on a movie for BET. And so I work a lot in the film space. I'm a costume designer. I just did a show called Double Cross, which airs on the Watch All Black Network. We are about to be going back to shoot season 5. So yeah, I do a lot of independent projects, a lot of film projects. So I kind of I transitioned out of being like a quote unquote celebrity stylist to more of a costume designer and a wardrobe supervisor in the TV and film space, which I've grown to love.
Okay. So you have a lot of range because
Yeah.
you're working with a lot of different areas and all of these are totally different styles. So I
Hmm.
mean that shows that you have a lot of range. And if you're getting all these phone calls, you must really be bad.
Well, thank God the phone keep ringing, and I pray that it continues to ring, and things have been definitely going really well.
Okay. So how did you become involved with chasing reality? The
Chasing reality, you know, it was really kind of interesting how it all happened. I was following someone that was on the Atlanta, Chasing Atlanta, and he was like posting about it. And this is like right at the beginning of the pandemic. And I'm like, what is this like? What's this show that he's posting about? So I go, you know, do some digging and I come across Chasing Atlanta. I think at that time, actually, Chasing Dallas was like airing. So I watched the show and just so happened the guy was like moving to LA and he reached out to me because I was a guest on Fox Soul on Claudia Jordan's show, and he had just like contacted me after I was posting the content, and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be moving to LA, and I'm doing this show called Chasing LA, and I want to see if you wanted to be a part of it." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, like why not?" I had saw some of the content, and I was a bit like I was kind of nervous because it is definitely, you know, it's provocative, it's conflict driven. And so I really didn't know because a lot of my past experiences have been me showing up like in the capacity of being an expert in my field. So competing on reality series, being on the Housewives or going to Jordan's show, and I was being more highlighted in like my professional capacity. And this was going to be me in, you know, other types of scenarios. So I was a bit apprehensive and I went and did it. And first season, I was the big bad villain and I got a lot of backlash from the audience. And coming into season 2, I was like, well, you know, I really want to kind of showcase myself in the best light and figure out how to like navigate these situations and still come out feeling good about it. And so season 2, I came in and I had an amazing season. I feel like the content is great. It's a fun show and I'm proud of it.
Okay. So reality TV, you know, it do have a lot of controversy and everything. Was yours completely scripted or was it completely unscripted?
No, it was completely unscripted. I think, like, especially with like chasing reality, you get 10 big dynamic personalities, 10 people vying for the top spot, vying for the moment, if you will, of the season. And so I just think people are gonna come and they're gonna do wild things. You're gonna come and see everybody at their peak version of themselves to kind of come and bring it for the camera. So ours was completely real. It was more real than I would have wanted it to be in some instances, but it was all real.
So you said that you was the villain in season 1
Yes.
and you got some backlash.
Yes.
Have you been able to clean that up and has it now been a good situation for you?
Yes, definitely. I think the good thing about reality TV, especially if the more that you're invited back, it's always an opportunity. Number one, like just in your regular life, you don't get an opportunity to see yourself from an outside perspective. And I
Mhm.
think that's the gift of reality TV, especially for if you're willing to, you know, like take things at face value and do the work to be, you know, to change and to grow. I think for me, life is always about growth. So any moment that I have that maybe hasn't been the most positive, as long as I'm growing, I know I have the opportunity to overcome that. And the same is true with reality TV. So this year I was able to come back and redeem myself and to show the viewers like a different version of myself and to show them like, you know, maybe in this last year, this was an opportunity for me. I've taken the time to reflect on it. I've taken the time to think about how I could handle situations better. And then I come back and I handle it better. And I think that's for me, that was the story for season 2. So I think I was super proud of myself for how I navigated things. I stood my ground. I didn't back away from any situation, which is who I am to my core naturally, but I think I did so in a more graceful way, which I feel better about in hindsight.
Okay. And would you say that this has given you more opportunities? Have other people reached out to you to be on their projects now because of the show? Do you
I
think?
get a lot of engagement about the show. Sometimes it's honestly kind of like crazy because it's this project that you participate in, and sometimes I'm living my life and I'm doing my thing and I'm not necessarily thinking about the show, but the show somehow becomes present in my life. I get recognized a lot from the show. I get a lot of opportunities from the show. I was recently in Kentucky traveling for work, and like the people at the front desk knew me and they wanted me to come down and take a picture and like things like that. It's those moments kind of remind me of the impact of the show, or when other people of influence that watch the show and they come in like, hey, like I watch your show, and I'm like, what? Because I watch your show, like, you know. So I think those moments are just like, they're invaluable. But beyond that, I think using the platform as leverage to occupy other spaces is honestly how I do it. Sometimes people might not necessarily know about the show, but when I tell them about the show, tell them about who I am, and then they kind of do the research, and then they come back to me like, okay, yes, let's figure out how to do things. And I think for me, I've always, in my career in general, I take the aspect of I will lead first. So sometimes the opportunity might not come to me, but I will go and find the opportunities, and the ones that I'm meant to be will be.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Are you interested in, okay, so that was unscripted, but are you interested in starring in some scripted TV shows and films?
Yes, I am interested in getting into more scripting, especially about like working behind the scenes and working in production and working in crew. I've definitely gotten more interested in wanting to be like on the first side of the camera in that way as well. And so I had my first small acting role, and it's in an international feature. It's called The Hit Your Girl. Right now it's going all through the festival circuits. They just had a screening in LA and I wasn't able to go and see it, but I had a small role in that. And so I am trying to, like, you know, get out there, take some classes, and sharpen myself overall for that. Yeah.
Okay, that's really good. That's really good. All right. So, what advice can you give someone trying to get into the fashion world?
You know, fashion is professionally, it's not something that's super, it's not out of anybody's reach. I think if my biggest thing is to do the work. Sometimes I think like when you want to be a fashion stylist, you think about it one way, which is like how you present yourself, but it's so much more beyond that. Like you should be out collaborating with models, with designers, with photographers, building a strong portfolio of work to be able to showcase. I know obviously we all have bills, we all want to get to the bag. That's great, but there are also times where you have to like kind of take a step back and intern here and there. You have to do things and put yourself in spaces where those jobs and those opportunities exist, so that when those openings become available, you're a viable option. You know what I mean? You want to be able to show people that you have a portfolio that you've been working on with great updated content. You want to show people that you've been working on sets and working in those spaces and learning the etiquette and what a call sheet is and what a call time is. And like, I think you need to take any opportunity and experience that you don't have. You need to get it so that you can become viable when those opportunities do present themselves. So that's my biggest thing, is don't be afraid to go out there and get the work, you know, network and tell people who you are, what it is that you're inspiring to do, and see if they have any opportunities for you, you know. I like to think that there's a happy medium in networking and having, you know, just casual conversations. So don't be too aggressive, but be aggressive, you know.
Yeah, you really gave some great tips right there, especially talking about interning and building your portfolio, because I think a lot of people, well, not some people will get into this industry and think that they're just supposed to be, oh, my fees is just this and this is the only thing
Oh,
I'm going to
yes.
be able to do, and you get a
Yes.
reality check.
Yes, you do. And I feel like No, you're never too big to be flexible. You know what I mean? I think like the reality of it is I try not to leave no dollar on the table. If I can, it might be a few less dollars than I wanted to get for the job. However, if the date is available and I don't have to, put myself out of too much energy and time, I'll figure out how to make it work. And I think sometimes, especially, I get so irritated in this culture of all these experts and these people that, charge thousands of dollars for a seminar or whatever it is, and then you leave and they didn't even really give you any valuable information. And I think sometimes we get in these situations where I personally feel like you nickel and dime yourself out of the bigger opportunities that exist for yourself and the bigger relationships that exist for yourself. So I try not to leave any opportunity or any conversation not thought about, because it's always something to gain out of it.
Definitely. I also think it's very important to make sure that, whatever room you're in, regardless if you are interning, if you are a regular person on set that's hired by the crew, or whatever your position is, you need to make sure that you are on top of your game at all times. And
Yes,
not only be on top of your game, but also be able to network and communicate properly with these people, because you never know who's looking at you to put you on to something
absolutely.
else.
Absolutely. I don't be everybody want to be a boss, but you have to learn to be a good employee, you know what I mean, a teachable person, because that's how you get like to those bigger opportunities. I think so that means coming up and taking every task the same, whether it's a big task or a small task, doing it with the same level of enthusiasm and execution, because that's what stands out to people.
Definitely. Okay. So you are also an artist and you have a song out called Him.
Yes.
I want to talk about that.
Yes.
Can you tell
So
everybody about the song?
yes. So my debut single is called Him. And it really is just a very fun and upbeat dance, go out with your friends, have a good time type of record. I'm really in a space like right now, like I'm a very creative person, like, and my brands, I have a clothing brand called Shop Him. It's my online e-commerce brand. And I always say like my persona is like him. I'm him. And it's spelled HEM because of the clothing. It was supposed to be like the hem of a garment. So that was like that double little connotation thing going on. And so I do like fashion shows and hostings and stuff. And I thought like it would be cool if I had my own original music that kind of
Yeah.
like goes along with this whole idea of him. So if I have a hosting, I have a song. If I have a fashion show with my brand, I have a song. And so that's kind of like where it started from. And I was fortunate enough to have the backing of the platform, Chasing Reality. One of my cast members, he's a battle rapper, a prominent LGBTQ battle rapper. And so he was like, I think you might have a little bit of skill. Like we actually might be able to work with this. And so he collaborated with me and we made the song, and it's been doing amazing. It's been getting a lot of positive feedback, a lot of opportunities. And so shout out to the song. It's available on all streaming platforms, iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, YouTube. Him, it's HEM with the Fly King I.
Yeah, I was listening to it too. I was over jamming. I was like, okay, all right, I see it, I see it, I see
Thank you.
it. So the inspiration behind your clothing brand, Shop Him, came from what?
I'm so big about like organic. Like I like my career to grow organically and for my experiences to come in an organic nature. And so
Mhm.
I'm a fashion stylist, wardrobe supervisor first and foremost. That's like I said, the platform of my brand. And I was doing a lot of styling, especially at the time when I was doing more like photo shoots for magazines and working with like influencers and stuff like that. And I was thinking like I would source the clothes, I found amazing designers and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm missing out on the opportunity to be building a brand of my own through these
Mhm.
placements, through the free marketing that I have as being a fashion stylist. And particularly, I wanted to occupy the men's fashion space because I like men's fashion. I wanted my e-commerce and my clothing brand to be representative of things that I like, things that I would wear, things that I would style my clients in. And so that's kind of like where like the taste level comes from, I would say. But
Mhm.
just the business side of it, I was just thinking like I could be building something for myself as well. And so I decided to do the clothing brand Shop Him.
Okay. And where can people find Shop Him?
You can visit us at shop-him.com. We're under a little rebrand right now, so we're coming back with a brand new website and some new pieces. And I'm super excited about that because it's been I've been operating with the same tools for a long time, and I'm glad that now we're like in this space of being able to grow. So stay tuned. Our new website will be launching soon. I'm going to be posting all of the rebrand information, but right now we're in a little bit of a quiet rebrand, but I'm excited.
Okay. So now that you're an artist, are you going to be performing or have you been performing the song?
I actually just recently had a couple performances during Grammy weekend that was here in LA.
Mhm.
I had a couple hostings. I did an opening for Krishan Rock at a fashion show with Baddies, Jay Lamina, her brand Normal Culture. So they played our song. We got to hop on the mic and perform it for the crowd, which was fun. And I had a brunch appearance where they played and I performed. So I've been getting out performing more. I'm working on new music. I really didn't going into it, I was just kind of like having fun. I'm like, okay, this will be fun. I have a record
Right.
and received well. And so, and I feel like I'm kind of like growing as an artist. So I plan to release a couple new songs this summer. So I'm excited about that as well. And we're going to do an official remix of him. So, and hopefully guys, they'll get to see that on season 3 of Chasing LA.
Oh, that's dope. And I wish you continue success on it. I think that you should absolutely do some more songs.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. From one artist to another. I think you should.
Thank you. That I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so where can people reach you and book you?
Yes, guys, connect with me on Instagram first and foremost. That's like my platform. All about Andre. It's all _about_Andre. You can find me on Facebook, André Hammonds. That's Andre Hammonds. And yeah, my email's there. So you can email me about collaborations, bookings, get in touch with me. We can chat, figure it all out. But I'm pretty easy to find.
Okay. I do have one more question.
Yes.
You can you tell us about your event, Celebrity Sip and Shop?
Yes, the celebrity sipping shop. Oh my gosh, that's another exciting thing that I'm excited is going to roll around this year again. Is the celebrity sipping shop? It is a reality-driven pop-up shop and like entertainment series, and basically we bring celebrities like we've had Jennifer Williams from Basketball Wives be a part of it. We've had Laura Govan. We've had performances by Amina Butterfly, Lola Monroe. So we get like a lot of reality-based influencers that have products, that do music. We bring them all under one roof with a host of other amazing vendors and experiences that we bring. And we just open it up to the public and let them come and shop and meet their reality TV favorites. They get to get pampered. We've had mini massages, open bar, cupcakes, like all types of different experiences we've had at the Celebrity Sipping Shop. But it was, again, birthed through part of me. So like my styling career started a lot in the reality space, which is kind of how I grew to want to be in reality, because I was working with some reality stars from like LA Hair, and I was working with Diamond, who was on Sisterhood of Hip Hop at the time, and that's what gave me the thought to do a reality driven pop-up shop.
Yeah.
I think I've always just wanted to be like in the reality space, and so a lot of my business moves and a lot of things like that come from like just that organic love for the reality genre. And so yeah, that's how I came up with the pop-up shop. But season, I think what's going to be 4 or 5 of the Celebrity Sipping Shop is going to be coming this summer, and so I'm excited about that as well.
Wow, you're on season 4 and 5. That's nice.
It's been a wild ride. A lot of people, but with the pandemic, I wasn't able to do it for a while because we couldn't do those like large scale gatherings. And like now, since things have been back open and people have been like, is the pop-up shop coming back? When is the pop-up shop? When is the pop-up shop? So I'm like working on getting the next Celebrity Sipping Shop going, and I have some really amazing ideas and people that I'm interested in having come along. So I think it's gonna be dope.
Is it going to be sometime this year?
Yes, it will be either in June or July.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely going to be reaching out to you next time I come to LA.
Please.
For
Yes, I've been
sure.
seeing your amazing projects, your film project, your music project, the podcast. So congratulations to you and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being a part of the show. I truly appreciated speaking with you. And with that, everybody, we are out of here. So we will talk to you guys later.